Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really high-stakes power struggle in the world of money. For decades, one currency has pretty much ruled them all, but its reign is now being seriously challenged.
For as long as most of us can remember, right, the US dollar has been the undisputed king of global finance. So the big question today is its time on the throne coming to an end? A new contender is stepping into the ring. And, this isn't just about numbers on a screen. This is about a shift that could impact everything, from what you pay for gas to the entire future of international trade.
Okay, let's really dive into this financial matchup. Think of it like a title fight. On one side, we've got the established champion, the currency that basically holds the whole global system together. And on the other, we have an ambitious challenger, backed by a massive economic superpower. So let's look at the tail of the tape here. In the blue corner, you have the reigning champion, the US dollar. It's the world's default currency. If two countries are trading, odds are they're doing it in dollars. It's the benchmark. In the red corner, we have the challenger, the Chinese renminbi. And China's goal here is crystal clear. They want to build a world where they don't have to play by the dollar's rules anymore.
So how exactly does the renminbi plan to take on the champ? Well, this isn't just some random swing. It's a very calculated, very strategic game plan. You can think of it as a three-punch combination that's really aimed at slowly, methodically, chipping away at the dollar's dominance.
So here's that three-punch combo. First, China is setting up what they call offshore hubs in places like Hong Kong. These are basically renminbi-friendly zones outside the mainland. Second, they're building their own payment channels. You can think of it like a special express lane just for renminbi transactions that completely bypasses the dollar highway. And third, what could be the knockout attempt, the petro-yuan.
Okay, we've got to talk about the petro-yuan because this is a huge deal. For decades, if you wanted to buy oil on the international market, you needed US dollars. It's a system called the petrodollar, and it's a massive cornerstone of American financial power. By creating a way to trade oil in their own currency, China is taking a direct shot at the champ's biggest strength.
So that's the strategy. But let's move to the scorecard and see how this fight is actually playing out. How is the renminbi really performing on the global stage when we look at the hard data?
All right, let's check the scorecard. If we look at SWIFT data, that's the global network banks use to wire money, it's pretty clear the dollar is still the heavyweight champion. It's involved in almost half of all international payments. The renminbi is growing, sure, but at just under 5%, it's still kind of in a different weight class for now. But, and this is a huge but, here's the plot twist. When you look specifically at trade finance, the money that really greases the wheels of global commerce, the renminbi is on an absolute tear. Its growth is explosive. For countries that do a lot of business with China, the renminbi is quickly becoming their currency of choice.
So what's the big takeaway here? The renminbi might not be winning on total points just yet, but it's landing some very, very strategic body blows. Its influence is growing way faster than the raw numbers alone might suggest. This is definitely a challenger that's getting stronger with every single round.
But what's holding the challenger back from landing that knockout punch? Because for all its strategic planning, the renminbi faces some pretty significant hurdles. And interestingly, the biggest ones are actually internal. They're self-inflicted. This right here is the renminbi's Achilles heel. See, to be the world's top currency, everyone needs to be able to buy and sell it freely, whenever they want. But China puts really strict limits on how much money can flow in and out of the country. These are called capital controls. Now, they do this to keep their own economy stable, but it's basically like telling the world, hey, you can use our money, but only on our terms. And that lack of freedom, mixed with a healthy dose of geopolitical distrust, is a major, major hurdle. So, what does this all mean for the future of global finance? Well, it probably doesn't mean the dollar is just going to collapse tomorrow. Instead, we might be heading towards a very different, and honestly, a much more complex world. And that's the key phrase you're going to hear more and more, a multipolar financial order. What experts believe is that we're moving away from a world dominated by just one single currency. Instead, we could see a future where several major currencies, the dollar, the euro, and the renminbi, all act as major anchors in different parts of the world. But a multipolar world like that has a potential downside. A big one, actually. Fragmentation. Just imagine a world split into competing currency blocks, a dollar zone, a euro zone, a yuan zone. All of a sudden, doing business across those zones could get a whole lot more complicated, maybe even more expensive. So, the final thought here is this. The contest between the dollar and the renminbi, it isn't just about finance. It's a reflection of these massive shifting global power dynamics. We are literally witnessing the potential rewiring of the world's entire economic operating system, and it's happening in real time. The world of money is fundamentally changing. The only real question